welcome back to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your day. If you've missed any of the coupon codes that you have heard or will hear in the program, go to our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, and underneath the Money tab at the top of the page, they're all listed for you, just like our friends at Honey Bee Healthy.
Since 2000, Honey Bee Healthy Inc. has helped beekeepers maintain healthy and thriving hives, attracting pollinators to your garden. This year's is as simple as hanging a hummingbird feeder with a mixture of sugar water and Honey Bee Healthy Original. Don't be alarmed to see birds, bees, and butterflies dining together at the feeder. Pollinators can coexist peacefully. Honey Bee Healthy is offering a 10% discount on an 8-ounce bottle of Honey Bee Healthy Original to this show's listeners. Use code BEEGARDEN at checkout for more information, mixing instructions, and to purchase products, visit honeybeehealthy.com. So,
how green is the green industry? Now, before we get into this, we all have our opinions about this particular topic. And if you want a successful society that thrives, we all have different opinions, and it's okay to have different opinions if we can respectively sit across from each other and voice our opinions like adults and not like kindergartners. Then we're in a better society. And this is not just for this is for anything. We can peacefully coexist if we listen to each other's opinions and then take the best from everybody and go together.
But if your opinion's wrong, what am I supposed to do?
Respectfully disagree and point out in a respectful manner, here's why that information is incorrect or doesn't make sense.
All right.
We can do this as a society. We can.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time. All right. So there's some, I just decided to cover myths because I feel like that's kind of fun. So electric cars are always eco-friendly. And I feel like this is such a myth and a lot of people don't understand it because you think to yourself, I have an electrical vehicle. I'm not emitting emissions out into the air because of my electrical vehicle.
First person, you're not. You're not emitting first person.
No, right. So you yourself are not emitting.
Correct.
Yes. And you're also not utilizing personally purchasing fossil fuels, which means in your brain, and you can come for me, bro. In your brain, you're like, I'm not having any sort of environmental impact. However, it depends on various factors. So first, you got to think about where the electricity comes from,
right? And
that usually comes from coal-powered or coal-source power plants, and coal is a fossil fuel,
right?
Right.
And whether you want to admit it or not, at certain points of the year where you're at in most locations, it's hard to get solar because it's dark, it's cloudy many days a week, and it's hard to get wind many times when there's no wind. How do you make power with those two means, which is great when they are working and everything's chiming together. But if there's no wind and it's been cloudy and snowy for 3 weeks, it's hard to recharge batteries on that level of green mindset. When you can do it, it's great. Utilize it.
Absolutely. And so then another thing to point out is that the production of these batteries, and it's not just electrical vehicle batteries, it's like batteries, they extract rare minerals like lithium and cobalt, which have environmental and ethical consequences. So they are trying to improve it, supposedly.
Tonnage of rock in order to get a few ounces of the crucial minerals in which is needed to make certain aspects of electric, not only vehicles, but electric products. And we're talking about power stations when you go camping or emergency station power stations, that type of thing. It's not just the electric car.
Right. It's all even in your phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you're true green, you won't have a phone.
True.
Yeah.
True. So another myth is that natural gas is a clean energy source. While natural gas does emit less emissions, it is still, it is not a clean energy source necessarily. It may emit less emissions, but they do have to use fracking or hydraulic fracturing, which can lead to contamination of the groundwater, habitat disruption, and possibly even earthquakes. So it is also to keep in mind that it can contribute to climate damage or natural resource damage, etc.
And I'm sure in that aspect, there is a responsible, better way to go about extracting that, whether it is a fracking aspect. But some people and it's just get it in, get it out, make the money, keep going. But we've seen now with, I guess it's the Department of Natural Resources, they have put more strategic and stringent requirements or regulations around it, so they can do the job. It does cost more, and they get the end result they're looking for, but it is a higher cost. So that may be the offset. Hey, we're not doing as much damage as we would have if these regulations was not in place. So we're having to raise the rate a little bit, but we're still extracting the things in which we need, and we don't have to import that material.
Definitely. Yeah.
And we're trying to come at this as a very neutral, factual level here, and a little common sense in any aspect of life goes quite a long ways.
Right, and that's the thing, is that it's facts.
Because if you want your political aspect, you can listen to the conservative stations that we're on, or the liberal stations we're on, and get it on other programs. We're just trying to bring you the facts of the facts here, and it calls us all to think a little bit about what we may be or may not be doing to help everything out.
Right. So then I wanted to address single-use plastics are recycled effectively and efficiently, and they're not.
Especially the higher numbers.
Yeah, recycling is kind of a myth, and a lot of people find it hard to accept, especially when they're being forcibly required to recycle by their municipality, which is totally fair.
Which may or may not be actually being recycled.
Right. So many plastic products, especially the ones that are made from like low quality plastic, mixed materials, etc., they are challenged to recycle. A lot of the recycling plants don't have the capabilities, thank you, to recycle them, so they often end up in landfills. So
in certain municipalities, on the plastic, there's that little triangle and there's a number. Some municipalities, we only accept 1, 2, 3, and 4, and if it's a 5, 6, or 7, throw it in the trash. And or vice versa. There's some combination of what we accept and what we don't accept. And then in some, you got to clean it, you got to scrub it out, you got to put it through your dishwasher in order for us to accept it. You can't be dirty. It's a whole thing. Are we really benefiting it if we have to, find out, 1, what number is 2, we've got to clean it out before we put it in a recycling bin so they will accept it, and or so we don't get fined because we're not properly recycling, and it's a whole big deal there.
Right. So that's just something to keep in mind, especially if you are like, I'm a die-hard recycler. I take my recyclables to the transfer station or the recycling place, which is cool. You should do that. But then you're also burning fossil fuels. Right. And you're probably not it's probably not really balancing out as much as you think it is.
It's not. It never balances out. It's like whenever you send a birthday card to somebody with $20 and then somebody else sends you just keep, it's that back and forth. So-and-so, here, happy birthday, here's $20. And then like a year later, you get a birthday card with $15. So you're like,
I know, but you get the joy of your birthday gift.
I know.
It's not keep your $20. Anyway, but one thing I want to mention is that there's a 100 bajillion reusable water bottles out there that you can purchase. And I would just think that if you are trying to do good for the environment or climate or whatever, it may be natural resources, stop drinking bottled water and think, I'm doing good because I'm drinking bottled water, I'm recycling it. No, I understand the need for bottled water in certain situations, like say you're going on a vacation somewhere, like whatever, and you don't have the ability to have clean water. That totally makes sense. But if it's something in your home or workplace or whatever, you can buy filters. You can buy filters for your water bottles. There's all sorts of options for you. We have a sink filter and we use reusable water bottles.
There's countertop filters that are completely gravity only, and it's great if you're going to use that water bottle. But we, just like everybody else, we don't use one. We've got like 5 or 6. And then some people like, that's the new one. I got to buy the new one every year.
Right.
So you're not really accomplishing anything but spending money on something that, it's filling the cabinets up. And then in 10 years, all of it goes to the thrift store or in the trash or at a yard sale.
Right, but I do have. I know, like my main water bottle I've had for.
I think you've only got like 2, maybe 3 tops.
Yeah.
There's some people that have like a special one for everything.
And a couple of them I have in case I leave like one in my car, and
Right.
then I have it, and then I can So
And green and battery and that type of thing. Like let's for example chainsaws. There's battery operated chainsaws and there's gas powered chainsaws. Both have their places. If you're here's my example. If you're just gonna have you need a couple of trims of the trees every year, and you don't want to buy a heavy bulky gas chainsaw and the oil and gas mix and the oil, an electric one is fine. But here's the catch. And if you're going to, go camping and you have your own property and you're doing a lot of firewood cutting, a gas one makes more sense. Here's the other thing. Whenever a bad storm comes through and rips all the power lines down and you've got to start cutting trees in order to get access to parts of your property, when the battery runs out on that electric one, that's all the power you got. With a gas-powered one, most people will have 1, 2, 3 gallons stored up, ready to use. So you got a little more and a lot more opportunity to get done what you need done in order to make life begin operating again.
Right. So that's. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, let's go one more.
All right. So the final fact here, myth, is that renewable energy sources are harmless to wildlife. They're not completely harmless. They're less harmful than other energy sources, but things like wind turbines, bats and birds can fly into them. If they're not, they can pose that threat. However, it is less threatening than like fracking or oil spills, etc. And then solar farms can displace vegetation and disrupt that ecosystem during the construction. Unless, you put it on a building or something that's already there, that's different. But if you're just
in an open field, you're taking away from potential crops being grown there, and then you have to deal with the weeds and the grass that could grow over top of them, and then some people will have goats or animals that will go in that will eat that away, and assuming that they don't tear the wires off while they're going through and eating the grass away from the whole solar panels. So. That's a sheep. And places like Pocono International Raceway up in the Poconos up there, they run their whole complete racetrack all with the solar field on the back side of the property.
Right.
They don't. I'm assuming they pump it back into the network, but they don't consume power off the grid. They make what they use.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways. I'm just saying that it's if you think this is completely harmless to wildlife, it's not, but it's better than other things.
Well, summer is in full swing, Holly, and the nasty Japanese beetles are in your garden wreaking havoc.
If you're looking to successfully control beetles without damaging the environment, look no further than Beetle Gone. Beetle Gone is derived from naturally occurring soil bacteria. Beetle Gone is the only organic solution that successfully controls beetle invaders. Just mix the powder with water and spray on your plants. Once ingested, the targeted pest will stop feeding and die. And since it's an organic BT product, it's a great choice to use on your fruits and veggies in addition to your ornamental flowers and trees.
Not only is Beetle Gone the best and works great, this product is also safe to be used around beneficial insects such as ladybugs, butterflies, and bees, and has no water toxicity. Go to BeetleGone.com to find out more information about it. You can go to their parent website, PhylumBioproducts.com, to find all the products they have available. So BeetleGone.com or PhylumBioproducts.com.